Level 1. Zero willpower. You don't think of yourself as someone with no willpower. That's not the story you tell yourself. The story you tell yourself is that you're just tired, that you'll start Monday, that today was a bad day and tomorrow will be different. But here's what your day actually looks like. The alarm goes off. You hit snooze. Not once, 3 times. You wake up late, skip breakfast, grab whatever is closest. You open your phone before your feet touch the floor. 40 minutes disappear. You don't know where they went. You had a goal. You wrote it down once, in a notebook, on a night when you felt motivated. The notebook is under something now. You haven't seen it in weeks. You are not lazy. That's not what this is. Laziness is a choice. What you have is a nervous system that has never been taught to delay a feeling. Every urge you have gets answered immediately. Hungry? Eat. Bored? Scroll. Uncomfortable? Distract. You are living in permanent reaction. The world is pulling your strings, and you don't even feel the pull. Nothing terrible is happening to you. That's the trap. Nothing terrible is happening yet. Level 2. Impulse-driven. You know what you should do. That's what separates you from level 1. You know. You've read the articles. You've watched the videos. You understand that sleep matters, that consistency beats intensity, that discipline is a skill and not a personality trait. You understand all of it. And then 10 p.m. arrives. You're tired. There's something on Netflix. The gym bag is by the door, packed from this morning, when you were a different, more optimistic person. You look at the bag. You look at the couch. You sit down on the couch. You tell yourself you'll go tomorrow. This is the most dangerous place to live. Not because you're failing, but because you know enough to feel guilty about it. You feel the gap between who you are and who you're trying to become every single day. And that gap is exhausting. You spend more energy feeling bad about not doing things than it would actually take to do them. Here's what nobody tells you about level 2. The willpower isn't missing. It exists. You feel it sometimes, in bright flashes. Sunday morning, fresh start. This week is different. It shows up. It just doesn't stay. You haven't built anything to hold it yet. Level 3. Aware but losing. Something shifted. Maybe it was a conversation, a doctor's appointment, a number on a scale, a moment in the mirror that you can't stop thinking about. Something cracked open, and you decided to actually try. You try. For 11 days, you try hard. You go to bed earlier, you drink water, you show up to things you said you would show up to. It feels good. You feel like a different person. You start to think, maybe I actually have this. Then week 3 comes. Life doesn't care about your 11-day streak. Your boss piles on, someone you love says something that sits wrong, sleep goes sideways for 2 nights in a row. You miss 1 workout, then 2. You eat badly one day and think, well, the week is ruined anyway. You'll restart Sunday. This is called the what the hell effect. Psychologists named it. 1 crack in the plan and the whole thing collapses. Because in your mind, it was all or nothing, perfect or failed. You haven't learned yet that discipline doesn't break, it bends. That missing Tuesday doesn't kill the month. That the person with real willpower isn't the one who never slips. It's the one who treats a slip like a speed bump, not a wall. You are getting closer, but you keep running the same loop. Build, crack, reset. Level 4. Building. You stopped waiting to feel motivated. That's the thing that changed. You don't know exactly when it happened, but one morning the alarm went off and you got up. Not because you felt like it, but because getting up is what you do now. It wasn't dramatic, there was no music, you were still tired. You got up anyway. You have 3 things locked in. Maybe it's your sleep schedule, your morning pages, and your workouts. Just 3. You guard them like they're the only things keeping the rest of your life from sliding, because they are. You've learned something that people at level 1 and 2 don't know yet. Small, consistent actions do something to your identity. Every time you do the thing you said you'd do, you cast a vote for the person you're becoming. And after enough votes, you start to believe it. But here's the catch. You are fragile right now. 1 rough week can still knock you back to level 2. The habits are real, but they're new, like a plant that's rooted but hasn't hardened yet. You can't miss 2 days in a row. Not yet. You've learned the system, but you haven't become it. Travel breaks you. Big emotional events break you. Holidays break you. You're not failing, you're just not yet someone who operates the same way in every environment. That comes later. Level 5. Consistent. You have 6 months of proof. Not perfect months, real months, with bad weeks inside them, with travel and stress and loss and celebration, and you came out the other side still doing the thing. That's what 6 months gives you. Not a habit, a track record. And a track record is a different kind of fuel. You don't fight your alarm anymore. You don't negotiate with yourself about the gym. You don't stand in the kitchen for 4 minutes trying to decide whether to make the good breakfast or the easy one. The decision was made 6 months ago. You're just executing it. People start to notice, not the physical changes, though those are real. They notice something harder to name. You seem more settled, more present, like someone who knows where they're going even when the day is falling apart around them. Here's what they don't see. The internal math you're running constantly. You're still tracking everything, still counting, still aware. Willpower at this level looks effortless from the outside and feels like management from the inside. You have not escaped the need for discipline. You have have gotten better at hiding how much it costs you. Level 6, disciplined. You are now someone who does hard things on purpose, not because you have to, because you understand what hard things do to a person. You take cold showers in January, not because cold showers are magic, you know the science is mixed, but because choosing discomfort at 7 a.m. tells your nervous system who is in charge. You do the difficult conversation instead of letting it rot. You sit with boredom instead of filling it. You've learned that the impulse to escape is almost always a sign that you should stay. You don't talk about this much. People who are at level 1 and 2 sometimes find it annoying, the discipline thing, and you understand why. You used to find it annoying too. It seemed performative, like self-punishment dressed up as virtue. You know now it isn't that. It's the opposite of punishment. It's the only way you found to feel genuinely free. But there is a shadow here. You have become rigid. You know it. Your friends know it. Miss the workout on a vacation and the day is slightly ruined. Eat off plan once and there's a voice that won't leave until Monday. You've traded one prison for a cleaner one. The warden is now you and you are strict. This is the level where the psychology has to catch up to the behavior. Discipline without self-compassion is just control with a better PR story.
Level 7, identity level. You stopped trying to be disciplined. You just are. This sounds like a small thing. It isn't. And every level before this one, willpower was something you applied, a resource you drew from, sometimes depleted, sometimes strong. Now it's structural. It's not what you do, it's who you are. When someone asks if you want to skip the workout today, the question doesn't even fully land. Skip? You're a person who works out. That's not a preference. It's a fact about yourself. James Clear calls this identity-based habits. Psychologists call it self-concept consistency. You just call it Tuesday. The decisions that used to cost you energy are now automatic. The calories that used to require tracking are now intuitive. The sleep schedule that used to require enforcement is now biological. You freed up cognitive space you didn't know you were spending, and you spent it on things that actually require thinking. Here's the catch, and it's subtle. You can become blind to the struggle of people below you. You forget that it was hard. You forget the 11-day streak that collapsed. You forget the notebook under something. And so you give advice that sounds simple. Just be consistent. And you don't understand why it doesn't work for people. Because for you, it doesn't feel like a method anymore. It feels like breathing. Level 8, unbreakable. You've lost things, real things, a person, a job, a version of yourself you built carefully over years. You've had months where the floor disappeared, and you were falling, and you didn't know when you'd land. And you kept going. Not because you're tougher than other people. Not because you didn't grieve or struggle or sit in dark rooms wondering what the point was. You did all of that, but somewhere in the middle of it, you got up. Not because you wanted to, because getting up is the only thing you know how to do anymore. It has been written into you so deep that even the worst seasons of your life couldn't reach it. This is what unbreakable actually means. Not that nothing breaks you, things break you. It means that breaking is no longer the end of the story. You don't perform your discipline anymore. You don't post about it. You don't need anyone to see it. The work is private and consistent, and it belongs to you in a way that nothing external ever could. But here's what no one tells you about reaching this level. The goalpost moved. It always moves. Because willpower at its deepest level was never about the gym or the diet or the morning routine. It was about the capacity to become. And that capacity has no ceiling. You can always go further, stay longer, carry more. The question at level 8 isn't, can I do this? You've answered that. The question is, what am I building this for? That question is the whole game. Your willpower is not a personality trait you were born with. It is not a gift handed out unevenly by genetics or circumstance. It is a skill. And like every skill, it was built one decision at a time, in moments when no one was watching, by people who were tired and scared, and showed up anyway. You are somewhere on this ladder right now. The only move is up.